The last chore I have tonight is to introduce our guest speaker. And you know, when you have a championship level group like we have, it's kind of tough coming up with the ideal speaker, but I think we found one. He comes from a very large and accomplished Catholic family. He and all 5 of his siblings attended St. Raphael Grade School. He and all of his brothers, as well as his father, grandfather, and great-grandfather, are graduates of St. Xavier High School. This past spring, his nephew became the rare 5th-generation family graduate of St. X. His father was a physician who took care of both the Xavier brothers and the Louisville Colonels basketball team. His grandfather, and I've got to check this out now, his grandfather was a pitcher for the Louisville Colonels baseball team who once struck out Babe Ruth 3 times in one game and pitched a no-hitter. He also hails from a prominent local tennis family. He played and was captain of the University of Kentucky tennis team, along with being voted All-SEC twice, both athletically and academically. For 27 years, he held the all-time school record for career wins that was only broken this past spring. He is in the UK Tennis and the Gatton School of Business Halls of Fame. He was recognized as a recipient of the 2005 Salute to Catholic Schools Alumni Award by the Catholic Education Foundation. He is also in the St. X Hall of Honors, as are his father and younger brother. He contributes to many local Catholic charities and causes, in addition to a broad assortment of Louisville community causes, all in the spirit of making this great community we live in even better. Since 2005, he has been the CEO of one of Kentucky's most beloved companies, Brown-Forman. Please welcome Mr. Paul Varga.
It was true. I just told Billy, my grandfather was Tommy Long. He's probably more famous for running Mazzoni's Oysters for many years down on 3rd Street. And but he was a pitcher for the Louisville Colonels, Billy. Look, thank you very much for letting me be a part of this evening. Thank you to those of you who are being saluted to let me even share a moment on the stage here. It really is an honor, and I was humbled when Billy asked me to come even do any kind of introductory remarks. I think it's important for you to know, I think that what Billy's starting here tonight, I think is going to become one of the great Louisville Catholic traditions. I really do. I think you think about what those are, the St. X Trinity game, the Toy Bowl. I might even go into the fish fry and the church picnic, some of the great institutions of the Louisville Catholic community. But I really do think that this is a special evening, Billy, that you've put on, and to have such a great inaugural class is really important. It's also a testament to the quality of Louisville's Catholic community to think that you would need the Baumhard Theater for this event. I mean, and just to have it full like this. And I think about these other events I attend, the Catholic School Alumni, which packs the Galt House, or you go to Papa John's Stadium to watch the St. X Trinity game, and you are reminded of what a strong Louisville Catholic community we have. And one quick story, I was reminded of that probably most vividly when I moved down to Nashville, Tennessee, which is only 200 miles away, but felt like millions of miles away because as a young liquor salesman for Brown-Forman, going down there as a Catholic upbringing, I showed up in this superb Southern Baptist and Church of Christ community looking for the Catholic church and the liquor store. And they weren't to be found. So then it was that hard for my job, but it was hard for my faith. But I was reminded what a great community it was very vividly that day. Billy asked me just to share a few comments, which is sort of hard to do with this gang, about a bunch of great Catholics, about what Catholic sports might have taught me. And you heard Billy establish a few credentials there, just a lot of history in my family related to Catholicism and sports. And you immediately go to the influences, the same thing you do, and you think about, how you became what you became, and you start to reflect on things you normally don't reflect on. And, I think about my genetics and my upbringing and the people I was around in my education. And you quickly get to the household you were brought up in. And I was so fortunate to be brought up in a wonderful household with great parents, great siblings. And I started to think about what they instilled in me. And there's a lot of things, but the two I remember most vividly were, if you're going to do something, do it really well. So, strive for excellence. But there was always this qualifier, which was do it with a foundation of goodness. So it was always there as excel, but you better be good. And when we chose, or my parents chose to put us into the Catholic school system and to practice the Catholic faith, and then of course my father, what happened was he and a bunch of his colleagues started the Louisville Tennis Club, and so they kind of put the family. It was very economical to get free tennis lessons at that time. So we all started playing tennis, and they encouraged that. So there was the opportunity to see if we could do what our parents had taught us. And so here I stand, 30 years later, trying to figure out what it was that all of that taught me. And I'll just divide it between sports and Catholicism. And the sports part, it's like a lot of you all would have understood, that it taught me so many things that have served me so well today. It taught me work ethic. Just reminded me constantly that you had the capacity to do more than you actually thought you could do. It also taught me, I'll never forget, just how much it meant to set high ambitions and goals, a sense of personal accomplishment. It taught you personal initiative. Anybody who's played sports knows you can't be passive. You have to take initiative. And I think probably above all, what I remember, the lessons from sports were the sense of personal responsibility. When you played tennis, it was an individual sport. You ran into a lot of spoiled people, right? I mean, it was all about you. But when you got your butt kicked in tennis, there was nobody to blame. There was nobody to blame. So you learned to accept responsibility for yourself. And I think that is even more important today, given the way the world's evolved with all the blame that's out there. But sports can stand on its own. It really can. I mean, the way I think about it, you can excel at sports without being good. And, let's be honest, the NFL combines aren't testing for character and integrity, and the NFL and the NBA never drafted anybody for good sportsmanship. So, but tonight what you all are doing, I think, and I love the video that was shown, is I think you're honoring something a bit more. I really do think you're honoring something that comes when you place the word Catholic in front of Sports Hall of Fame. And it's the qualities of things like empathy, honesty, humility, tolerance, respect, some of the things that were mentioned in the video. And these are the qualities we often all refer to as good sportsmanship. And I actually think almost anybody in this group who's played any sports would tell you that the qualities that are evident in Catholicism are the things that help you to learn how to win and to learn how to lose. I'll close by I want to show you something here, a video that I actually think it's harder and harder to find this combination today in sports of excellence and goodness. And, you just think about the way the media treats it. They'd rather cover a fight than they would a circle of people, huddled around before a game and holding hands saying a prayer, right? It's better media coverage. And think about what we've seen just in the last year with things like the New Orleans Saints and the bounty hunting scandal. But it's out there. Goodness and excellence are. My family's here up there somewhere, and I've seen it all fall. My son on the 4th grade St. Margaret Mary football team, when an opposing team player gets injured, they've been coached to kneel on one knee out of respect, to show empathy and good sportsmanship until that person's up off the ground. That's a reminder. Thank you. But the greatest reminder I can't talk about, I'd rather show you, of greatness and leadership in the sports arena with genuine, authentic empathy and leadership. And so if you would, I'll just run the video and it'll be self-evident.
And now to honor America and salute the men and women serving our country with our national anthem, please welcome, as voted by you, the fans, our winner of the Toyota Get the Feeling of a Star promotion, Natalie Gilbert.
Oh, say can stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight. Oh, the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets red glare, and the air gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave? Oh, the land of the free and the home of the brave.
I know we have a number of employees who are in Philadelphia, and that was Maurice Cheeks, who was, of course, known as the NBA All-Star, and at that time he was a coach. And many, many people tell me he's more beloved in Philadelphia today for that moment than he was for any of the accomplishments he had on the court. And I consider that one of the great instinctive, authentic demonstrations of leadership I think I ever saw, just to walk right out there and help that girl. And, I have a good friend who describes leadership. It's the simplest way I've ever heard it described as what you know, what you do, and who you are. And I really do believe that when I think about who I am, it's very, very much a result of the experience I've had as both a Catholic and as an athlete. And I know that everybody else in this room who's had that experience would say the same thing. I just want to thank you all a lot for letting me be on the stage with you for just a few minutes tonight and be a part of your special evening. Thanks. Thank you, Bill. Thank you.
Thank you, Paul. Another hand for Paul. Fantastic job. I see a lot of videos. I don't know how I've never seen that before. That was amazing stuff. It's said that leaders lead from the front, and that's one of the leaders in our community, and I think, as we can see, we're all very much better off because of it. Now, the reason that we're all here, truly one stage, one evening, and as the first class, an incredible, incredible class. I don't know if the city of Louisville has ever had this much talent on one stage, but we're going to have it tonight. We have 13 inductees. It's time to begin.